what I look like, I just woke up. But I woke up to fear. I woke up to fear, not me being scared, but reading about, somebody else's fear. So, I don't know, it just got me thinking and about hard times seeing other moms or just parents in general struggle to find the answers that they need for their children being sick. I understand it doesn't come easy for everybody, and I do understand that every parent is different, and I do understand that every kid is different, and it's not easy to take care of a sick kid if you don't have experience. I mean, it just makes sense to be a little worried and a little scared. But it does bother me because I feel like, this is just an opinion, I feel that parents should take some sort of care class to know what to do when your kid is sick. There is an abundance of mothers that are taking their children to the ER for a fever or rash. And that's not what you go to the emergency room for. You don't go for a fever. You don't. They're going to do the same thing for you that you did at home. They're going to give your baby ibuprofen, and then they're going to ask you if you gave your baby Tylenol, and then they're going to make you combine them to give it to them as long as it's in the right window period. So, I mean, for all those moms that think they put your baby in some ice and all sorts of, they don't do that. That's in the past. I don't even know if they ever did that. But I really truly believe that every parent, not even just moms, every parent should have care classes. Care classes would make it so a parent had the education and knowledge to what to do when a baby has a fever, when your child has a fever, what to do when they throw up, when they have diarrhea, showing signs of lethargy. These are things parents need to know what to do. Now, also brings a really good point to those without insurance. You guys need to know what to do if you can't get to a doctor. You know what I mean? Like, you have to know what to do. You know, insurance isn't anybody that can help you unless you have a broken bone, let alone go to a hospital for a fever. It just isn't called for. So, what to do if your child is sick? I really wanted to write all this down before I went in on a camera. But I guess I didn't really think this through. But I can go through a few tips and tricks on what to do when your kiddo has a fever. So it usually, one, it can start becoming routine, or two, you can write it down. For me, it's routine. And for those that say, my kids don't get sick, everybody gets sick. Everybody gets sick. It's human nature to get sick. That's how you get stronger. It's how you build immunity. It's how you grow. We're not all in a bunch of bubbles, and those that don't want their kids to get sick, it's just insane. If you don't want your kid to get sick, they're going to be very, very sickly adults. Anyways, everybody gets sick. Point is, if you find yourself sick because your kids are magical unicorns and they don't ever get sick, then here's a tip for you. But if you get sick and your kid gets sick, here's a tip for the family. Tip number 1, your kid runs a fever. Obviously, you want to take the temperature. If it's anything below 105-ish, they're okay. It's okay. Do not rush them to the hospital. You're going to get their clothes off. Their clothes are making them warm. You're going to keep blankets off of them. And if you do want to put a blanket on them, make sure it's a very, very light sheet. The first thing you're going to want to do is, moms, if you have essential oils, if you're an essential oil freak like me, you're going to have clove, rosemary, peppermint. Some of these are really good at a certain age. Make sure they're a certain age. And you're going to want to drop it into the corner of the shower and turn your shower on as high as it goes. Don't allow the water to hit the oil where you dropped it. Then allow the steam to bring the oils up, and you don't have to combine them all. If you want to combine them all, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to combine them all. And if you want to throw some lavender in there, you can do that too. Clove really helps warm the lungs. Warming the body will help it fight. And clove also helps your immunity because it warms it, and it gives your body just a little bit of a boost. So putting your child or yourself in the shower with it is just a great idea. Obviously turn the water down before you get in, but make sure you're breathing in all of the essential properties of the clove or the rosemary. Now, rosemary has a little bit of an opposite effect. It is a little bit warming, but it also cools off your lungs. So if you have a really bad chest congestion, it's a really good lung cleanser. So do the same thing with the clove. Do the same thing with the rosemary that you do with the clove. Drop it in the corner and move on. You're going to leave yourself or a little one in the shower until their shaking basically stops. If they're having a hard time staying in the shower, give them toys. Obviously, you're going to want to make them as comfortable as possible. Another thing that really helps is mint internally. So if you have mint tea, now's the time to break it out and start ingesting. Also with little one, a huge tip while little one has a fever, do not feed them until fever comes down because they will throw it up. And do not give them juices. You're going to want to give them water-based drinks. No juices, no milks while they have a fever. They will throw up. So if they are throwing up during a fever and you fed them or you gave them juice or nothing water-based, that's probably just their bodies trying to get everything out so that it can fight. What else? Oh yeah, take mint tea internally. Make sure little one is only sipping it. If they are throwing up and you want to soothe them, you can add oats to that tea. Do not make oatmeal. You add like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of it so that there's more water than there is oats. And the water just soaks up the properties and the soothing, calming properties of the oats, and it can help calm and soothe the esophagus, the lining of your stomach, and then your lower gut as well. So it really helps with kids having diarrhea problems. Also, during fever or vomiting or diarrhea, you really need to make sure you're pushing fluids. One of the main reasons children end up in the hospital is lack of fluids. A child's fever naturally dehydrates them, naturally. So when fever does come down, make sure they're getting enough electrolytes. And I don't mean Gatorade. Gatorade is full of dyes and just, it's just not good, okay? It's not as good as everybody thinks it is. So the best thing for you to reach out towards, I can post in the comments a rehydration drink that you can make at home, or you can just get Smart Water. Smart Water is electrolyte water. So it will do the same job as Gatorade without all the dyes. Oh, I missed my table. So give that a try. Also, some kids don't really like it, but rubbing a little bit of mint with a lot of carrier oil, and I mean a lot of carrier oil because kids think mint burns. It doesn't burn. It really, what it does is it kind of it's like icy hot. It brings like a hot cold sensation, but it's really just cooling off your body. Your body's starting to regulate its temperature. So you're going to put mint plus a lot of carrier oil in the pressure point. So here, behind the ears, down the spine, behind the knees, my lovely pajamas. I almost fell. Behind the knees. A lot of people say put it on the feet with socks, and that's okay. to do, but the soles of your feet are very, very thick and it's really hard for it to absorb. So doing it in those other areas is substantial. You don't have to put it on their feet. If you want to put something on your kiddos' feet, slice up some potatoes or even some onions. Not very many kids like the onions. Slice up some potatoes thinly and put them in your baby's or your kids' socks and let them wear them. It'll help draw out the properties. Also, if you choose to give baths instead of showers, you can give detox baths. Detox baths will not only help stop a fever, but it will help draw out whatever illness is happening and help your body fight. So detox baths basically will consist of either a detox bath bomb that I will be launching this year after we move, or you can make a simple one at home that doesn't have as many ingredients in it, but it's still very effective. So you can just stick some, maybe some baking soda, some bentonite clay, and either some Himalayan sea salt if you have it at home, or you can go to your local herbal store and get bath salts. Magnesium bath salts will help really calm their body down, so it's great to put those in there too. You can also throw some herbs in there to help them feel better. Some good herbs that will help them feel better is either tea, but of course it is a body regulator or a body temperature regulator, so it will bring a kind of a cooling sensation as well. One to help calm them down is lavender. Excuse me, lavender. Yeah, so you can put a couple oils in there as well. Let me think. Between the baths, the water, hydration. Next thing you know, your kid's temperature is going to start going down. And a lot of parents get worried when they see that their kid's fever isn't going down past maybe 101, maybe even 100. This is okay. This is normal. If your baby is extremely uncomfortable, obviously you're going to want to soothe your baby. If your baby is doing fine, just make sure you're covering with a light blanket and keeping them as comfortable as possible. Popsicles help. Make smoothies so that they can eat if they don't have an appetite. You can even put some smoothie that left over into like a popsicle holder and stick a little spoon in it. And next thing you know, they have popsicles. So there's a number of things that you can do to help your baby. The hospital isn't a place for your baby when you have a fever. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I hope you guys don't hate me for this video, but love all of the information that I could give. Hope you guys have a great day.